Hi, you've tuned into Music with Purpose. I'm Lisa Catherine, your host. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Terri and Rob, the Terri and Rob duo.
Hear ye politicians, go travel down to Flint, knock on the door of dwellers, ask them for a drink. Can you swallow down the water? Does it meet your scrutiny? Is water good for others? It's not okay for me. You say to women victims that life must be preserved. Health and safety of a mother is a privilege where you're born. Does your mother ever worry? Did you ask her what she thinks? Is she proud of laws you consider? Or does she pray she's never sick? If you don't walk in the steps of others, you don't have a heart at all. If unethical wealth are winners, democracy will fall. If you don't walk in the steps of others, you don't have a heart at all. If unethical wealth are winners, democracy will fall. Would you swim in rivers near the factory? Eat the fish that are caught there, build a house on the property? Sacrifice the lives of some to aid in corporate greed? Do you have a moral compass, or are you just machine? If you don't walk in the steps of others, you don't have a heart at all. If unethical wealth are winners, democracy will fall. If you don't walk in the steps of others, you don't have a heart at all. If unethical wealth are winners, democracy will fall. Hear ye politicians, go travel down to Flint, knock on the door of dwellers, ask them for a drink. Can you swallow down the water? Does it meet your scrutiny? Is water good for others? It's not okay for me. Is water good for others? It's not okay for me.
Hi, you've tuned into Music with Purpose. It's a show about all kinds of music with all kinds of performances, all kinds of conversations with all kinds of performers. I'm Lisa Catherine, your host. And tonight we are with the Terri and Rob duo, Terri LaChance and Rob Sorbo. Did I say that right? Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Oh, I was so excited.
We are
I've
so
known you
excited.
guys a bit now, and I know your music. And the audience just got to hear one of your songs, which I love. The name of it, I forget the name of it. The first song.
The first song?
Yep.
Was Golden Rule.
Okay. And you get to hear the rest later. We met at an open mic, and I was trying to figure it out. It's about 3 years ago, because I'm trying to go back to the events that you've been, you've Terri yourself have helped out with the nonprofit, and both of you guys have done things with the nonprofit. You did Fisher House.
Hmm.
You played for the marathon. I know you wanted to race and play at the same
Yeah,
time.
I was so excited when all those runners ran by. They were like all thumbs up, and oh my goodness, I've always been a runner, so it was so exciting when all the runners came by and I was the music that time. It was like so awesome.
That was fun, and hopefully next
Yeah.
year we'll get to do that again. But you've done, farmers markets. You've played at the Augusta Curtis Cultural Center, and those are all events, things that have helped support the nonprofit. So thank you,
Yeah,
both of you
thank
guys.
you. Like I said,
for
it's
all
been a
you've done.
pleasure for us as well.
But all your music, I mean, what you talk about, and what you sing about, and you're everywhere now. I mean, you've been like all four corners of the state.
We're trying.
But
Yeah.
you really, really have.
Mhm.
Made it into Rhode
The
Island once.
coalition, the Wanting for Coalition.
Yep.
Now you're hosting the open mic once a month there. So
Yep, second
thank you guys
Tuesday.
for all you're doing, sincerely. Terri LaChance has been playing and writing songs since her early teens. She has traveled the world and been places most of us would never venture alone. I want to listen to that.
Mhm.
Love that. Like one of her songs, she always lands 2 feet on the ground. Her songs are rooted in her life experiences, but most of all, what she believes. Every song comes from her heart and soul. She delivers her message in music and lyric. She is nonstop. She gathers no moss. I love that. She always has a new song building up inside, which I can absolutely imagine. Her music has been described as introspective and social conscious in nature, influences of folk, country, and jazz. I'm adding true, true, true
Oh, thank you.
for all that
I wrote all
above.
that
Thank
stuff,
you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
true.
That's true.
Rob is a bassist, and he also has a great voice. I've got to hear him sing
Okay,
before
right.
and play just solo. And the list is way too long. You have to go on their Facebook page, the Rob and Kerry duo,
Yeah.
and gosh, it's way too long. But he actually was born in Schenectady, New York,
Yep.
and came to Connecticut, and that's when you actually got into the music scene, when you came into Connecticut.
Yeah.
He started playing rock and blues and grew into jazz and jazz fusion. Most recent band he has played with was the Aaron Troy Danner, and you still do a little bit with them, right?
Yep. Yep.
And now the two of you are the Rob and Terry duo.
Actually, it's
Terry
the
and Rob.
opposite. Terry and Rob.
Terry and
duo.
Rob, I
Terry
know
and
that.
Rob.
I know
Yes.
that.
Ladies
That's
before
okay.
gentlemen.
That's very nice. So, where to start?
Yes.
I know you guys we kind of already talked about the things that you've been doing
Mhm.
at the farmers market, the coalition, Augusta Curtis.
A lot of bars.
Any,
a lot of
yeah,
coffee
open
shops,
mics,
wherever they will hire us
yeah.
is where we will play.
Pretty much it.
Yeah. Anything that you're looking to do that you haven't done yet?
There's this little piece of me that still believes that someone's going to hear the song and want to give you a record deal and take you out into the world. And it's, that little part of you that just inside of you that says, someday I might be famous doing this. But if anybody would like to make us famous, that would be great. But I am good with just playing and doing as much as I can to get messages across and write songs that mean something to me and hopefully to other people as well.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to listen to a lot of your music, and tonight so far everybody's got to listen to the first one. Anything you want to say more about the first one? I know you kind of introduced it.
I believe that politicians just really, really need to represent the people that hired them to do the job. And sometimes I don't think they are anymore. I think that there's a lot of special interests and a lot of bad money that people are using to get their agendas done. And the common people, most of the people, are not really being taken care of. And so I feel
That's
like
a
either we
big
need
message.
to unite or we need to let our politicians know that they are not really handling things in the way we want them to. And
Music
so, yeah,
can change the world. It has.
we can
It
change the
has.
world.
It can heal. It can change the world.
Yep. And we just need to believe that we can
Yeah.
as well.
There's
Because,
another song. One at a
yes.
time.
No, just one person can change the
One
world.
person can change
Yep,
the world.
because I
That's
do
right.
believe that as
You
well.
guys will hear that later.
Well, I started playing guitar in my teens, but I've always been a singer. And I actually believe I got my start singing in day camp
Oh, cool.
because when I was a little kid, I used to go to day camp, and the counselors would start songs out for the whole group to start. And for some reason, they would grab me and say, "Come on up and sing with us."
Mhm.
And I never really knew why because I was really little. I was like maybe 6 or 7. And the counselors would always have me come up and I would just sing with them. And
Cool.
and so I got used to sort of singing in front of an audience a little bit when I was like a little kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but when I learned how to play the guitar, I've always wanted to play the guitar. I have a picture of myself as a 3-year-old holding a guitar like a bass, like a giant stand-up bass.
That's cool.
And my grandmother said I told her then that I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And when I learned how to play the guitar, it like all fit together for me. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Rob, when did you start? And why did you start?
My brothers always had a broken guitar in the house, and I had 4 older brothers, so I'd be plunking around on whatever strings were left on it. And then when my parents moved to Connecticut, really didn't have anything else to do. So I ended up sneaking down to the church basement when they had folk mass, and after the folk mass, we'd play guitars.
Fun. So you
So,
were young.
yeah.
You were around music, obviously.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and
That's always fun to
yeah,
hear.
I ended up being a bass player because I was singing, and at the time did our first coffee house when we were like 12 years old or something.
Fun.
And I didn't have a bass, and I started singing, and somebody came up and stuck a bass in my hand and said, play bass. So I faked it for a week or two, and then ended up with a bass.
And now
And-
you're well known in
Well,
probably New England, if
yeah,
not just Connecticut.
yeah.
I mean, definitely Connecticut for being a
I
exceptional bass
appreciate
player.
that.
You
Yeah. And
really
he plays with
certain
lots
areas.
of people. I mean,
Yeah.
he really is,
Yeah.
and he adds something to everybody that he plays
and
with.
you guys
Yeah.
complement each other so nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Publicly, we both kind of already talked about when you started, or when you wanted to start playing publicly. Well, more you, Rob, than you, Terri. When did you decide you wanted to like be out there in the limelight?
So
and play?
before I had children, I actually played coffee houses, like on open mics as well. And then I had children, and I kind of wrote songs and didn't perform as much because I was busy being a mom. And then I went when my children started college, and I didn't have anybody at home anymore. I decided, well, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to go back to my roots and start playing music again
Nice.
out. And so I went to lots and lots of open mics, and that's how Rob and I met each other.
Open mics are great.
They really are.
I love open mics for a lot of reasons.
So this is like a little twist to who we are or whatever. But when I met him, it was at the Cypress Restaurant in Middletown,
Middletown, yeah.
and
I was in the host band.
yeah,
and,
and so he was the host band.
They were trying to encourage her to play with more musicians because she was coming out as a solo.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more of an electric thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But interestingly enough, so we met, and I'm like, so where are you from? And he goes, I'm from Simsbury, and I am from Simsbury as
Oh.
well.
Yeah.
He graduated 2 years ahead of me in the same high school.
Oh, God,
Yeah.
that's cute.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was really
And
funny.
She saw my original
So I was
band.
like, oh,
Yeah.
but we didn't know each other in high school because
Yeah.
he was 2 years older, and I mean, but I had seen his original band that he
Oh,
that he
I
played
just
with
did
a
I
long,
just hear
long
you had
time
an
ago.
original band?
a
Oh,
long time ago.
uh-oh.
Yes, very long time ago.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is we have common people, but we didn't know each other.
Your paths, it wasn't ready for your paths to cross.
Yeah,
I
so it was
guess
so
not.
interesting when we found that out,
But we looked each other up on Facebook, and we're going, oh my God, she knows everybody that I knew in high school,
That's
and
awesome.
she knew,
Yeah,
just,
so it's interesting.
Well, it shows in your music because you guys it's just like it's so natural that you guys, your sound and how it fits and comes
Huh.
across.
Yeah.
Really, it does.
Yeah, thank you.
I have to say something about your car.
Yep, you may.
I
You
heard
may.
I met
Yeah.
somebody who you had their son in one of your classes,
Mhm.
and at that time you sold a car or you bought a new car, and that first car was totally covered with bumper stickers.
was.
And everybody was wondering how long it was going to take you to get all the bumper stickers. For you guys that don't know, Terri's car is completely covered with bumper
It
stickers.
really is. Yeah,
It really is.
it's like the messages that I sing in my songs are like all in my car as
the
well.
whole car.
Yeah, there you go.
The whole car.
Yep.
So apparently
the
the
roof.
second car, we have to know, did you
Okay,
have,
so what ended up happening was my first car.
this is not music related. but
This is
it's
not
just-
music related, but it's a great story. Is I was a Boy Scout leader as well as a Girl Scout leader, and I had a pasta dinner that had a ton of pasta left over, and I put it in my car, and I was taking it to a soup kitchen, and I got totaled on my first car. So sauce went everywhere inside of the car, all over. And when I got out of the car with my 2 children, everybody thought we were covered in blood.
Right, because you.
So the whole town started texting, and all these kids, because buses were going by, and we were covered in sauce. And everyone's like, the chances are getting, whatever. So anyway, so that car was totaled. It was very famous, that everyone knew that my car got totaled, and it was full of sauce, and we were bleeding to death on the streets, and which we weren't. And then, so I actually had a party where I bought a bunch of bumper stickers on my new car, and I said, let's have a bumper sticker party, and I had a few people show up and help me decorate my new car.
That's awesome.
Yes, and now people give me bumper stickers all the time. I buy them online. I mean, yeah.
You are certainly a message maker,
There you go.
message giver, a message
have-
And I had a
sharer.
class. One of my parents, my room parents, actually made a bumper sticker that thanked me for the year and had all the students' names
Oh,
on
what a
it.
great
And
idea.
that's on my car as well.
That's a great
And that's
idea.
like the best.
It's funny.
We have time for the one most important question, but we've actually talked a lot about
Mm-hmm.
it already. And I always like to know what the meaning, the message, the purpose of your music is. And I know we've talked a lot about that, but any last things you'd like your
Just the
people
fact
to
that
know about your music?
my music comes from things I need to solve for myself. So and I know anybody that knows me knows I spend so much time about the politics and about the world and hoping that, things get better in that way. But they also know my son is not in a place where I would like him to be as his mother. And so I have so many songs about,
About your son?
my son Ethan right now, because I want him to fix some of the things that, are not going that well for him.
Well, singing is healing you.
Yes, it's healing me, and he won't let me talk to him about these things. And so I have to kind of work through my stuff by making songs, and I do it in any way I can. So if it's about love, it's about love. If it's about politics, it's about politics. If it's about my children,
I
it's
think
about my
that's
children.
fantastic.
But they are all out there for the world to
Thing I-
listen to.
The thing I can say about a lot of her music too, I think it will stand the test of time because the message will always be needed. There's never a shortage of things that need to be solved. And so I think, whether she's famous today or famous after she's gone, I think some of the songs are going to come
Gonna be
to
like
the
Van
forefront.
Gogh.
Or famous worthy.
Well, they will come to the forefront at some point just because of the meaning of the songs. And, like Flint, Michigan and Golden Rule.
Mhm.
They haven't had drinking water since 2014.
Mm.
It's 2018.
Yeah,
We're 4
it's a
years
long
later,
time.
and they're still struggling for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
interesting.
Who knows where that might land in another state or town.
Thank you.
I'm sure there's people out there that would like to know more about you and where to get your music because they're going to fall in love with your music like I did. 'Cause
Thank
that's
you.
what we're going to do next. We're going to
Yeah.
get to hear you guys play
Come
some
to a
more
gig.
music.
Thank you so much. Thank
for
you
being
very,
here.
very
Thanks for
much.
having us.
Get to
Yeah.
go listen to more music.
Yay! Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for having us.
Dentists and doctors, beware you had the trust of your patients. You sold them out. Drug companies for profit, lining all of your pockets. Why just sell us out? It was alluded I was a bad mother. Child would need to get rid of the pain. The prescription I shredded lay unfilled on the table. I believe my children's lives I saved. Solve this huge crisis, take some great leaders. When healthcare is for all, medicine is made for profit and not to help the masses. This problem will not fall. It was alluded I was a bad mother. Child would need to get rid of the pain. The prescription I shredded lay unfilled on the table. I believe my children's lives I saved. Dentists and doctors, where you had the trust of your patients, you sold them out. drug companies for profit, lining all of your pockets. Why just sell us out? Why just sell us out? Putting down your roots, strangling 'cause you can't breathe. Never want to say live and die that way. Not afraid to try. With my wings I'll fly. Who knows where I'll land? 2 feet on the ground. Stand for what you believe. Actions more than words. Life you teach, important in your hands. Not afraid to try. With my wings I'll fly. Who knows where I'll land? 2 feet on the ground. Don't be sad for me. The less traveled path is mine. More passion, more than sleep. Apathy, the highest crime. Not afraid to try. With my wings I'll fly. Who knows where I'll land? 2 feet on the ground. Not sure why some people say one person cannot change the world. It happens time and time again. Got the past, my friend. One person changed the buses. One person walked on change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. We all have the world in our hands. It's what we're meant to do. When you see the problems of our times, that's a sign for you to choose. One person changed the buses, one person walked on the moon, one person made your house a home, one person dried your tears, one person calmed your fears, one person believed in what you do. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Be that person for one person, and the world will change for you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much.
And more
thank you, Lisa.
yous. Thank you, Terri and Rob.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, we wish you a life full of music.